Hello, everyone. That was a stroke and a half. God, it's way too early to be recording, but here I am recording another video for all of you lovely folks because I appreciate you all. Anyways, let me try that again. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Wizard101 video. Today I'm going to be going over the coming updates in the future, what we can expect, and why you shouldn't be worried about them. And obviously this is my opinion. This could all change. I might make a video in like 3 months from now saying why I was completely wrong in this one video I made in December. So basically, if you don't know, the King's Isle plans for the future to rebalance the damage, resistance, and pierce of every school because they feel specifically that each school is starting to lack a school identity because of the amount of damages each school has and the amount of resistances each school has and the pierce, because it feels like every school is just a reskin school of the other rather than a specific like dynamic thing. For example, Storm and Fire have been feeling very similar recently because they're both just godly powerhouses, right? And in regards to school identity, this actually does a lot when they do stuff like this. For example, at level 100 right now, with every school having Malastair gear, I would be willing to bet that my death is very similar in stats to a balance or a myth, maybe, right? Storm and Fire will be above us, and life life and ice will be below, but those three schools will be pretty much the same, which is a real issue because it shouldn't be exactly the same, and Fire and Storm shouldn't be the same either. What King's Isle has been doing, if you don't know, is every single update increasing damage, increasing resist, and increasing pierce. And this creates a problem because 3 years from now, everyone might have 300 damage and 100 resist, right? Like, what are they gonna do, right? Because then the numbers just become arbitrary. They just become the same thing, just become larger. So they have a plan. I don't know exactly what the plan is. No one knows what the plan is. What the plan is to rebalance stats so they are better and more indicative of school. So for example, in the future, you could expect your Storm to possibly stay around the same damage, Fire's damage to decrease, everyone's damage to decrease quite a bit, because realistically, with how schools work, Ice shouldn't be able to have 160 damage, which is the same as Fire. Like, the problem is that they made the Dragoon gear, which is actually decently unbalanced in my opinion, because the Dragoon gear for most schools is incredibly powerful. Let me see. Okay, let me go. I don't know if I can actually get to the catacomb. I can't get to the catacombs on any wizard on this account, actually. So realistically, that idea is kind of pointless. But let me see if have I bought in the Dragoon gear on my ice. Let me see. I have not. Okay. Basically, what I'm saying is you see the Malastair hood like this with ice, right? Its most powerful stat is probably either the resist or the crit. I mean, obviously the health is good and stuff too, but what I'm saying is out of the main stats, 15% resist is a lot of resist. That's more than most other wizards will have on their robes, right? And the reason why that is because ice is designed for resist. That's what it's mainly good at and what it's mainly designed for. 12 damage is good because that's not a lot of damage. That's around what ice should be realistically, right? Obviously these are universal boots I have, which, you know, changed, which aren't the ice boots. These are, I got these just so my ice can feel a bit more balanced or a little bit more, you know, powerful. But what I'm saying is that this is what it should be, right? But with the Dragoon gear, ice, I believe the ice hack gives something like 27 damage. That's like 15 more damage, which is a lot. Plus the fact that the boots give something like 25 or more, right? Which realistically is more than ice should have. Plus the fact with the gear set, it probably gives like another 5. So what I'm saying is the Dragoon gear will make ice into a monster. It'll make it into like a 140, 150 damage. I've seen a 160 damage ice, which 160 damage is more than my fire has, actually. My fire has 159. I don't know. Yeah, this has updated. So you can see my fire has 159 damage, which realistically is just because of his pet mixed with, you know, he doesn't have the Dragoon gear yet. Once he has the Dragoon gear, he'll shoot up to like 168 or so, right? Because he'll gain 2 here and then plus another 7, which is 9 more. So yeah, 168. Which, wait, I didn't even count. Oh no, I did count there. Okay. But, which realistically, that's not that unbalanced of a damage because fire can get up to like 200 now. Storm can get a bit higher, which is how it should be. But they're making the damage increases to a point where it's like too much, realistically. You guys might not understand. If you're focusing more on haha big damage funny, this game is poggers because of the big damage, you're probably not playing this game for a challenge, and you're probably only playing this game to win, which realistically isn't the best way to play a game in most cases. I mean, I'm not here to judge you, but KingStyle's not trying to create a game where it's haha big number funny. They're trying to create a game where it is a legitimate challenge at the slightest, and each school feels different and there's different ways to play. Which right now, there isn't different ways to play. There's, as I said, haha big number funny, right? Basically, you just hit the boss until it dies. For cheating bosses, there's different strategies, but they can't make every boss so that, you know, you need a juju spammer and you need like someone to put shields up. What they're trying to do is they're gonna try to make schools different. So like, personally, what I would like is to see my ice's damage decrease by a solid 15. I feel like that would be good, possibly increase resist, right? Because the different gear should feel different. I want it to feel different, right? I want my storm to stay around the same as it is, but possibly decrease and resist a little bit. And, you know, another thing I would like to talk about is accuracy, because accuracy they've slowly just removed from existing. Like at this point, accuracy isn't a thing. Like my ice will never fizzle, my fire will never fizzle, my storm will never fizzle. No one will ever fizzle anymore because of accuracy jewels and the accuracy gear gives, especially the Malistaire gear. I mean, the robe. Storm's robe gives 30, doesn't it? It gives 25, which is enough for them to never fizzle again. Like, okay, there's accuracy debuffs, but realistically, you're not going to get accuracy debuffed that much. Basically, what I'm saying is, or what I'm trying to get across is the fact that this update is very much needed because each school is starting to feel like the other. And that's not what this game should be. And if you're crying because your ice wizard won't be able to do a ton of damage anymore, it shouldn't have done a ton of damage to begin with. If you're playing this game to do a shit ton of damage, you should have picked storm, right? You shouldn't have picked ice, you shouldn't have picked myth, you shouldn't have picked life, right? That's my point, is there's going to be a lot of people that don't like this update. I think it's very much a good thing, and it's going to be very much a good thing. I think the wizard that will see the least amount of change is probably Death Wizards. I feel like, because Death, they did a decent job at the damage. Now, if they lower everyone, so if they lower Storm and Fire as well, then Death might see some changes. But if they're keeping the scale that they're at now, I feel like Death is the most balanced out of almost any school. They have a solid bit of damage, like 110 damage right here at level 100 is probably good. Like if we're talking about other level 100 damage, Storm should probably be around 130 to 140. Fire should be around 120 to 130. death is kind of decent where it is, and then decrease from there. I mean, do I have my, I don't have my balance added, but my balance, I know for a fact, has 107, 109 damage, right? Which is about equivalent to my death, when realistically it shouldn't. It should have like 100 damage at most, right? Like, they've made a mistake. They're going to correct their mistake. People aren't going to like it. That's the summary of this video. So, you know, if you enjoyed, if you agree, drop a like at the sub button. Let me know what you think. Sometimes I make these videos more to see what other people think than actually giving my opinions, because I feel like it's very interesting to see what the community would say to a stat rebalance or a stat change, which, in my opinion, is very much necessary. So, that's it. See you next video. Have a fantastic day.